Has a chain been made?
Okay. Has a chain been made?
Has a chain
Has a chain been made?
I'm making it right now.
Cool.
What is your email?
dustml@umich.edu.
SML. Oh, there it is. Oh, just added Kevin Lou on accident.
It's not Kevin.
Jaxson, can you put me on it?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Round 20, holy.
Type.
Control Labs. Niles, Mission, Northeast, STB, LC. Okay, that's done.
Yep.
Arjun, can you, sorry, can you see it? Like, just the desk, I'm kind of pinned in.
Oh,
I didn't mean like he.
oh no, I'm just gonna try to get out so I can move this.
LC prep.
It's crazy.
LC prep.
LC prep.
What, do you want Berkeley Anderson instead?
Nah.
I think that's worse.
LC prep is tough.
We hit him in Maryclare and Lhasa and called him Mimosa.
Okay. Murray and Lhasa.
Marmanik.
I always hear Maryclare and I hear it. Do you know the Muppets Phenomena song?
Yeah.
I always hear it to the tune of that in my head. Maryclare. Maryclare.
Oh, wait.
And focus bands unique restrictor flags.
I focus bands unique comments.
This is the new lady that can.
Why is this true?
I don't know.
You just like assert that.
He did just assert it. If wings must be wingers, they're interchangeable. That excludes this as a new uniqueness to be generated by the old.
I love being the older sibling. My brothers complained that I take too long to shower, and I said, I'm the one driving you to school. That's a fair point.
No, I always say that. They always complain about my driving, and I'm like, do you want me to just not drive you?
Well, he's like, you're in the bathroom the entire time. And I was like, then wake up before me.
No, their biggest complaint is about me being like late to like get them in the afternoon, but I'm like, okay, what's your other alternative?
Yeah.
Like,
It's this or nothing.
I mean, do you really need your 2A? If you're good to start.
So
I
that's
mean,
kind
I'm frankly okay with it.
Okay.
Even though it's a
Alright.
1AC, but
yeah, that's true.
alright.
Okay. The United States federal government should seek to increase its domestic protection of intellectual property rights and plant patents. The sole advantage of breeding new breeding technology. MBTs are required for creating patent eligibility mass. Further clarification required to incentivize agriculture and environmental innovation. Cox 21. Plant-related innovation are critical to enable food security, mitigate climate. MBTs facilitate breeding by editing. Enable breeding targets. MBT will lead to unprecedented patent complexity. Agriculture has the potential to create a carbon-seeking solution for climate change. Enable those changes, maximize agriculture innovation. MBTs are more likely than the GMO. MBTs can democratize land, biotech, and reinvigorate competition. Actively play important roles in incentives to create innovation. MBTs could be likely to increase patent complexity. And since the dawn of the Industrial Revolution, patents have been the linchpin of global innovation. Billington et al. 24. The history of the Industrial Revolution provide valuable insights on how patents influence innovation. We are in the fourth Industrial Revolution. Patents and innovation are related. It's not straightforward. The between incentive system like the patent system and the level and direction of innovation more readily and innovative policy aimed at applying to the nature of inventions or report. Differences in the need to use the patent system historically reveals the patent system influence what ends up being patent like a direct innovative activity and plan brings it and overwhelmingly the number one responses of food insecurity habits that ultimately reach economic systems breeding and represent a crucial frontier and enhancing the balance between sustainable ag, environmental preservation, global food security, safeguarding biodiversity, ag has been seriously threatened by climate change, production is constrained by the environmental stress development, stress tolerant clouds with breeding tech, plant breeding tech, and permanent ag is essential for ensuring food security in areas vulnerable to climate change. Serves as a model for small biotech companies that enter the sector. Breeding tech allows for more precise and efficient manipulation, higher yield potential, better quality, resistant to pests and disease, resilient to environmental stress, drought, salinity, heat, and cold. That's a potential to improve global food security, increase productivity, and resilience of ag, essential for achieving sustainable food production in the face of climate change. In allowing farmers, small farmers to solves global food security, Rackle 20, IPR for adding coordination of safeguarding innovation, rise of seed, adding cost of shift and rights over the seed to multinational agricultural corporation, hybrid seeds, birth of biotech, GMO, and plant research. Under trips, farmers pay royalties on the GMO seeds for seed saving practices, storing seeds for future use. Farmers owe agrochemical corporation about protection that prohibit farmers from seed saving, causing alarming gene uniformity, global food security, big undertaking seed fatty, reduces the biodiversity, predicting saving business model of agriculture at the ease of odds with feeding the world and food insecurity is number one cause of global conflict, curves between food, water, land, scarcity, environment, drivers, and modern conflict, hunger, spreading hunger, snowballs, and government failures, civil wars, refugees, and armed conflict ranging from riots and government failures, nuclear war, having food is the recognized repression, weapon of peace, and food wars are real and likely data represents conflicts filled on at all 23 conflicts, impacts of food insecurity, conflicts, multifaceted food-related conflict, more strongly correlated, self-reported, insufficient food consumption, relationship between food-related conflict and food insecurity is unlikely to be driven by any particular, this may be skewed analysis. Policymakers require an approach to identifying food-related violence as applicable underlying the source of event and not specifically designed for purpose of capturing, may not capture a comprehensive account for all food-related violence that betters must result in may report the true extent of the food-related conflict and the extinction crisis can be stopped only through assisted breeding and de-extinction initiatives linked with the world is under the extinction crisis. Extinction can be stopped by building tech, assisted building, cloning, and genome editing, and synthetic genomics, provided food shelter and support for human species. We need numerous cooperative and coordinated efforts to stop the extinction crisis and the breeding or species restoration act methods undertaken biodiversity loss. Cause of extinction Marquez 20, the collapse of biodiversity is unprecedented threatening species with global extinction tailing increasing risk of extinction, conserving biological diversity for nature. Over 7 billion people are under major biodiversity loss underlines the seriousness for mass extinction and plant breeding, solves food security, climate change, sustainable ag as we need all 23. Plant breeding contributes to socio-economic development of farm community, improving crop yields and quality, leading to economic growth, and improved nutrition. Plant breeding plays a crucial role in germplasm conservation, utilization, participatory plant breeding, and most collaboration between farmers, scientists, and breeders, rural genetics, and plant breeding and crop improvement of paramount supports for addressing global challenges of food security, climate change, sustainable ag. Participating plant purchases have highlighted the importance of engaging farmers, local communities, in the breeding. Predatory breeding your neighbor it ensures trade development of varieties, and that solves for clarifying criteria to describe traits of patent application, increase the overall amount of patents and collaboration, which immediately solves the current unsustainable IPR system. Cox went to strengthen the weakness of the different IPRs for the type of car workers are emphasizing the weakness of the current IPR system. PPRs are blowing the boundaries while patent think is not yet material impact on plant breeding. Several issues are not pressing how to describe a variety. The phenotype, what are the clear and meaningful criteria to describe industries and patent outs, how can it possibly sustainable use of plant GRs. Horizontal issues related to what should be protectable, vertical issues related to the scope of rights and accepted cross-country existence of plant PANS PPR exemptions are abolished by plants covering the variety exemption enables by breeders to utilize biomaterial covered by patent speed of protective developments, increasing exponentially legislative ability to respond to the change becomes slower. Patent thinkers are not a hurdle. This is sharing is based on the patent use revenues are allocated, which is there's coverage according to the points on the plants owned and the plant consolidates PPRs. The plant base patents into a new open innovative enables restriction of the entire plant-based IPR system that solves plant complexity. Cox 21 legislative adjustment U.S. breeders benefit from liberal access to germplasm and other legislation. With the rest of plants patents on a plant, the boundary becomes unsustainable. Banning patents may not protect the lead time. Banning patents will create an incentive to rely on tracing instead of standard for tracing under my knowledge. Redesign IP system replacing the current system with PPR system by a new holistic. The integrated IP system shall be evaluated in all member states. The holistic IPR system has a strong appeal and should be complacent with the trips and measure. Could provide a blueprint to harmonize patents and PPRs. Patent thinking for plants will become dense as the consequence of MPTs. One holistic system combines the elements of patent, plant breeder rights, and an open and innovative framework, and a substantial overhaul the patent system with urgent MPTs reduce development time and costs. Otherwise, failure of biotech innovation. Biotech is also good and inevitable, which proves that there's no impact except ours. Plant-related innovation, rising productivity, ensure sustainability, improving resilience, and manage complex will be critical contributors to sustainable acceleration of breeding. Varieties covered by the patents, the trends towards tobacco. Second, main root cause breeding has always been a second. Patent traits will be the norm. Business critical patents, compelling parties to patent their traits. MPTs enabling multiplexing. MPTs will substantially reduce development time, the cost of high adoption rate of MPTs. Very likely the question about the current IP regime able to cope with the volume and speed complexity, the capacity to perform breeding relies on the ability to track and climate response. Not only requires agricultural innovation, but environmental law to enforce the protection of new technology. Plans solves by clearing litigation clogs in the courts, which allows them to focus on climate policy. Carnal 21. Judicial leadership, civil rules in the court recognizing a healthy environment. The judiciary plays an essential role in advancing the rule of law, climate implementation, enforcement, and evolution. Environmental law courts have served the guardians judiciary, maintaining the integrity of the rule of law, ensuring the well-being of the nation and its people. Climate litigation is playing a controversially important role in shaping the rule of law. And the climate crisis is independently essential causing extinction after absolute records of densely populated areas. Jalby 22. Conventional assumption about adaptation underestimate what's coming. Civilization unlikely to collapse. Societal collapse. The looms of protection as seems like rational, not abrupt, failure to respond appropriately may lead to catastrophe. Huge use of fossil fuels, military transport, prevention is key. Avoiding catastrophic climate change is the only security strategy method that might cause a huge spike in global heating, elimination of humanity, assumption of a gradual change are unlikely to be correct. Supply chain point of policy needs to grapple with disruption. Key question is whether our economy's infrastructure will be flexible, handle disruptive transition, and patterns containing excess for risk. Randall 16 greater united quality and communication cheap by tech. Path great exchange of change, essential threats, great IP, all sorts of nuclear war, parallel channels, and new disease environments, and uncertain manipulation of tech, the danger that pervades IP correlates with the others converge, rapid innovation reflected in IP. There's an overlap driven by the end of the strength of IP. And patent trolls are not a barrier. They do hurt innovation, but only make the patent system fairer and cleaner. Can solve the soul 14. What is the problem? There are many thousands of them breaking by IPs for small amounts of private policy. Unlike existing, the current patents are real fixing. Does not require a comprehensive definition of it. This leads to greater uncertainty and unnecessary litigation measures. Improve the transparency of the system and help reduce better predatory activities, enable change have a serious consequence of making the U.S. patents fairer, more transferable, benefit the U.S. economy, boost job creation, and spread innovation. And Congress is key congressional control of patent eligibility decisions, locks and starting predictability, which required to continue to innovate beyond control forward. The state of law is the result of many court decisions over time, struggling to keep us with the fast changing times, creating confusion, uncertainty, court decisions, result in de facto rules that Congress never passes. The court stated the laws, creating uncertainty amongst investors, and congressional action need otherwise exclude principles espoused by the judiciary about section 101 is the risk of all patent law. Para indicates courts are not a create an exception, but they're not in the statute. Para will bring certainty to 101 to prevent uncertainty by limiting judicial accepted patentability. Return of patent decision to Congress, and Congress has now to do the plan, but they know it supports self-sustaining vehicles, nice advocate for plan breeders' rights. And Rossi 23. Seeds are integral underpinning the food system support for resilience and oversight system is critical in the upcoming farm bill. Being able to save seed and prior centuries central to adapting the environment. Farmers are push out their historical roles of primary stakeholders in seed saving, development, seed breeding, commercialization, food system resilience corporation be the main seed breeders and therefore stay ever traders available seed with substantial impacts on overall crop diversity. USDA and Congress remain hesitant to accept patents in the face of mounting pressure. Congress has passed the PVPA and biotech is in structural decline. Only plan can reverse that goal to one. Cities deploying different methods under measuring innovation through different means to provide consistent and persuasive evidence. The current innovative system is becoming inefficient, unproductive, and efficiently leads to loss of productivity, blinds us to the advantage of open science, partnerships, accelerating commercial development. As a result of the pandemic, research and adopting success and important contribution. That's an impact filter of existential risk. Requires innovation to overcome and cascades which use the world. We'll need innovation to overcome capitalism, maintain peace with great powers. We mess up, they might never see the day. Care appreciating the potential scope of humanity's vitals action. Future's vital action could affect how trillions live their future. Conserve for future and infectious science to be power to erase human life history. Right, the existential consequences of the most likely when American die young and civilization ending catastrophe, nuclear war, damage life on a global scale to put the genie back in the model governance, struggles of diplomacy, we commit to economic growth feature of global co-op, unprecedented innovation, governance is all order, innovation, to reduce GDP growth, unrealistic, dangerous, failures, engagement, and interdependence, heavily undermines with potential catastrophes. Have done this candidacy, existential risk mitigation, governance can achieve successful intelligent analysis will be critical, calling for resilience, strategies, survival, and lineage. The worst outcomes of patents are the only avenue to solve income inequality, already present terminally insolvent 218, the effects of patent protection, subsidy on innovation, and income inequality. Drastically different macroeconomic implications of income inequality, striking the protection, increasing inequality, raising R&D subsidy, decreasing the quality subsidy, play a negative effect of R&D subsidy on income inequality, raising R&D subsidy cause a relatively large increase in both income inequality and consumption inequality. Cut the garden consumption inequality. Inequality. Huh?
I said something great. You good for cross?
Yeah.
What's your relationship to Watkins?
We are not black.
Well, that doesn't describe your relationship to Watkins. What is it?
How would you like us to answer?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm asking Jaxson, not you.
Yeah, how would you like me to answer that? Like, I'm not black.
Okay. What's the one you see relationship to Watkins?
We think climate change is bad. among other
So
things.
your relationship to Blackness is existential risks matter.
Not even just existential risks. We think that climate change disproportionately harms urban populations. We think that's probably not good for black people.
Okay, great. The Darby evidence, it says that the climate change or climate crisis is independently existential. It concedes while there are some technical arguments about what counts as global extinction, we are living in the sixth one in the moment. Why is the F key?
Yeah, so a bunch of our cards mentioned the sixth extinction. That is just referring to the climate crisis and biodiversity crisis that's happening right now. We think that the plans increase agricultural and legislative innovation
So
would be able
I guess
to resolve.
so does durable fiat just mean that it instantly resolves every issue that
Instantly, not even necessarily. We think that the
wait, so how long does
resulting
it take for-
removal of the court clog would take maybe a year. I have no idea.
So it takes a year for the plan effects to happen?
No.
There's multiple
So
things.
the durable fiat says that when we enact the plan, what happens is things like the court clogs that are happening right now, which is preventing effective climate policy. We say those are going to get removed because of how the plan functions. Not only that, but things like saving more seeds and stuff like that will also help benefit the climate.
So yeah, what is the time frame of the affirmative, resolving its impact? You've listed out four clauses.
We think that climate will be resolved within a year.
A year?
Agriculture will be resolved immediately.
Can you give me a straightforward answer?
It depends on the impact. There are different time frames
Okay,
for
great.
how long the impacts take place.
So I guess the next argument, why is the court sort of key, or why is Congress key?
Congress key, the Iansu card says that Congress specifically has the capability to reduce like overall court clock among other things.
So Congress has the ability, why does Congress not wanna do it now?
Yeah, that's in the Rossi 23 card. It just says, like, how they're supporting it now through the upcoming farm bill, but, like, polarized politics makes it pretty hard to get this actually pushed out. But, like, if we're looking at empirics, we have seen that Congress appreciates seed breeding and commercialization, stuff
Sure,
like
I
that.
guess empirics, why is, yeah, just empirics as a sort of overarching thesis or overarching like claim, why is the affirmative key to resolve every single impact that you've listed out?
Solvency.
But yeah, like, we think that the AF has multiple solvency mechanisms. Like, for example, food insecurity, we talk about how the plan increase MBTs, which means that we are able to increase seed diversity, which is able to resolve stuff like food insecurity due to like bad soil or droughts, stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, I just really wanna see what's going on. And I just,
Quickly, we thought this is she's 2, you're gonna want 3.
Yeah, just pass me, whatever.
Sorry, how many out?
one.
Cool.
Give me a sec.
Do you know, was my spreading good there?
Yeah. I noted that, yeah. Breathing was a little bit gaspy, but like there wasn't any pitch, you know, like the switching pitches.
I don't know how to fix the breathing part.
Like I said, breathe like normally, like kind of where you would, like slow down a little bit and then like practice like, you know, slowly speeding up.
Okay, everyone good?
Hold on, sorry, my doc is like loading right now.
Well, just let me know.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Debate is structured by an arc of redemption built around the axis of black subjugation, the rhetorical form of the 1AC siphons energy into modalities of humanist redress that are parasitic on black suffering voters in 16. The power to put the questions of greatest power of all debate cannot be reconciled with that precedence and questions always posed on a great dimension. The question seems to move reductions from equilibrium to disequilibrium to equilibrium of restore after process, not a redemption, it's pretty good rhetorical structure as to what they do. Say about bias, the positions blocked by the idea of blackness and slaveness to be outside of their interpretations, no matter what question, but involves themselves directly the investigation, suffering, in order for black suffering to be part of the debate, we have to go through structural
second card in case, you talk about monopolizing plant-based medications. Can you point to the word plant in this card once?
Okay, so I think it specifically talks about like, I mean, like, we think that it can apply to plant patent.
What word though?
I mean, we think that we think that plant patents are going to be used for things like pharma innovations. We think that
How-
means that
wait, how would they
Well,
be
yeah,
used for that?
okay, Baker, the article talks about sort of outlawing items such as marijuana and other sort of pharmaceutical
Are
drugs.
people
that rely
genetically
on-
modifying marijuana in this glow?
What?
Are people genetically modifying marijuana in this glow?
Well, our argument is that, yeah, the.
Also, wait, where does it say that in the card? Like this, sure the article can talk about that, but like where in the card do you point
Yeah,
this
the
out?
Humira, like HUMIRA is an antithesis drug that is built upon like plant patents.
Okay, ontology for the K, how do you know that it is true?
What?
How do you know ontology is true?
How do you know it's not true?
You just made a claim on ontology, why?
We
what's the
said,
fact?
we said that even the frame of that question is wrong. Ontology has always been true in seminal passage and when blackness was like defined in opposition to whiteness.
Okay, I want you to explain why blackness was, explain the opposition.
middle passage.
The middle passage, why did that cause that?
Sure, our argument is a few. First is natal alienation. Black people or African people went on the ship as Africans, came out as black. Our argument is that that created a negative signifier that's now attached to blackness, e.g. everywhere you go, which then goes into the next like three pillars, which is journal disorder, e.g. the philic relationship that non-black people have in relationship to blackness, which then leads into gratuitous violence, which is irrational violence and killing of black people.
Okay, is there any other thing other than those two?
What?
Are those two, any other things as to why ontology is true?
What do you mean?
Like you said, natal alienation, general dishonor, any other warrants as to why ontology is true?
Gratuitous violence, and then the Gillespie card makes a few claims about like sort of understandings of the world in terms of like journal analysis,
And
but
the
that's
alts.
just built off of Orison.
The alts, I guess, why does the symbolic death of blackness break free from the symbolic code right now?
Sure, our argument is twofold. We say that there's a sort of overcoding of blackness in the status quo that has led to a hyperreal in which black death is always sort of posterized, which means that you need to utilize black death as a sort of heuristic for understanding how we should orient ourselves.
Why
to the
does
world.
black death
wait,
break
wait.
free from that system?
What is,
What?
okay, what is guerrilla linguistics? What does that look like?
Sure, so we say under common communication like AAVE, etc.
Okay.
Like communication like AAVE and sort of other things that are codified as sort of black linguistics. We say utilizing those things is good in semantic fields of
Is
like-
blackness
like-
static?
What do you mean?
Like does blackness change? Like
what do you
the
mean by
being-
change?
Like, well, like, there's a lot of different answers to that question. I'm
Okay.
kind of confused.
That's fine. Just last question. On the alt, who is engaging in black terrorism? Is it just black people?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Sorry,
Sorry.
Alright, sending it out. Order is the advantage of the K. It's called template, but it's not.
No worries.
And I saw the omission of Maryclare. That was my bad. It's the same doc, so I sent to Jaxson earlier. I named it just versus Nate because it was sending to Jaxson earlier. That was my bad. Yeah, we're actually picking out of you right now. Sorry.
Picking out of you.
It's for parasitism for on blackness.
This is what kind of weird did you, bro?
Yeah.
Being out on the app, great.
New sheet.
The perm is perm
You
other
need
shoes.
to see it.
Perm other
Yeah,
white
the
people.
new sheet is picking out of me.
Term plan plus alt minus Maryclare.
The Twacy is actually 6 minutes in the front.
Yeah.
I don't know how that functions considering.
Alright.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Trolls have flooded the courts, which prevents effective climate litigation. The court system is key to implementation, enforcement, and evolution of effective climate policy. Without an existential climate causes our extinction through on-track feedback loops. That's Dolby. But these systems which disproportionately harm black people as they occur. Think of Hurricane Katrina or natural disasters. Displaced 200,000 black people, where most of them lived in areas where they were damaged, and most weren't able to return to Louisiana in the first place. If they're right about ontology, this try or die to prevent a climate crisis, because the suffering of black people would experience in a warming crisis would be much more than they experienced in the status quo. 1 and C2 was no big pharma monopolization. app prevents it by offering a patent system. There's no incentive to, because it's not about plants in the first place, and 1C3, there's no biopiracy. That's the status quo anyways, and non-American people will be able to patent their stuff post-app. Anyways, this is not a real warrant, and we're going to get new ones in the 1 AR because they're not actually extrapolated on this in the blog. Okay. First things first, conditionality as a voter. This is going to advise in-depth research by rewarding no-cost options which kills ground and collection. This will solve no personal kicks framework with the beyond the implementation of the plan versus a competitive alternative for consequences. The only way to compare effect and they buy into the 9 must generate unique links to the plan text, and the all must be evaluated in the scope of solvency. We have to weigh the whole app regardless of unfair product questions. Fairness, prior questions are infinitely regressive because the AI can shoot any arbitrary standard in the blog. This moves when they see offense sandbags in the 1 AR and artificially in place their offense against their model. B, advocacy skills, the debating consequences of the plan ensures detailed clash education, and their model focuses on abstracting issues that aren't opportunity cost of the plan. C, fiat is good only good. It's predictable based on resolution and generates consequential forecasting, which are forced to assess the project consequences of the plan on a larger scale. It's best for clash argument or fine, which is a prerequisite to making the framework portable across like Cooper, which I'm going to read in a sec. The plan is a good idea, then we get to weigh it. D, every time we're decided scholarship was only for frameworks that are academically bankrupt and forcing closure don't change things in the scope, but just isolate things that are bad, which doesn't spell up to anything. Fiat is a useful means for radical and imagining and debating about policy proposal. Again, just sending homes imaginative capacities to spell outside of the activity, reshape social relations. Cooper and Runs 23. Simulation will use role playing institutions of understand the work creating a sanitation proposal that will currently viable refusal to division between means and ends rather than the future remaining politics and money to hope for changes in new announced change making on stage of the take on the swing of policy reforms playing the consequences circle having one of these in the religions sure model to wisdom design my mind versus takes about the different features of distortion political calculation and will play the mind by other just intensity of social race and extinction outweighs even if they win ontology. 1 is infinite even if infinite low probabilities because of irreversibility. 2, moral uncertainty. Irreversibility means the risk we're right outweighs the risk we're wrong. 3, Florida value lets everyone live to fight another day, which is necessary for agency and death, denies value to life. 4, the process of extinction itself causes billions of violent deaths, which is ethically indefensible and adverse to the warrant for why the other impact matters. 5, apocalyptic rhetoric is good and to create the new futures and hope for the oppressed. Davidson 24. Apocalypse fulfills the new key functions of the oppressed, adapts to the limitations of all aspects of the human condition, rebel, even between the apocalyptic disclosure of the situation of the oppressed, identify the cause of the oppression, and keep the possibility of a different future open, resisting the generation of the concrete open, but on the hard assessment of the current situation, of to make Belgium, but no matching that speaks to the hearts, about radicals and challenge race, some liberal civil war, rival and transportation, six on able to those on opening non-union, submissions on apocalyptic rhetoric, was a product for all, and for racism, within the ideas of massive with the hope that the relations is perm do both, double bind, either the old overcomes the links, which means the perm shields, or it doesn't, and the all fails. Permutation to the app and engage in the alternative. There's no forced choice between our tactics and theirs. Pessimistic readings of conflict spirals is warranted, but fatalism means they can't access revolutionary suicide or build broader movements for it. Link turn, the plan patents are good. Black farmers are being set behind in the agriculture industry, and the squall our evidence is specific to small farmers, and how they're being destroyed by large multinational corporations, and the status quo make them proof that helping small farmers is undesirable, or else you assume that their ontology and link warrants are too broad to be applicable to the app and perm to the F in 5 years. There's no link to Hobbes and evidence. We don't make any claims about international relations because all of our impacts are domestic except for food wars, which occurs between exclusively European actors, which is Hobbes doesn't apply because it talks about painting non-Western actors as irrational, which is not the app. Kelsey card is also absolutely awful. The entire card is about genetically modifying the human genome, which is obviously not the app. Not a single part of this card is about plants, which is what the app does, and the card is not totalizing the reject all biotech, but just rather human genome editing, which means a perm solves this. They say patents bad, but when it's not about our plant patents, we have small farmers, people need to gain ownership over their nations. That's the link turn, and it's not monolithic. I'll say 2221. IP rights are not apparently about commercial transaction, inclusion of video catching the terms of listing significant transactional IP models were Western percent IP models are not setting the same IP models expanded the structure of the cultural one. The runway from member because of its commercial agreement is on the paper right to this which is with the volume with IP and can fuel is also a pretty good power card, but it is not. But the plan does not allow people to patent new plants in the global south. People can already do that, so that's just cool. But rather genetic modifications that occur in America, specifically independently within term, because black farmers would not be able to keep up with the biotech giants absent the patent system. And well, there's more ontology claim. If anything, but it's wrong. Antiblackness is socialized, not up in the drive. That's 15. Race is not a terrible part of the psyche, or vibrance of priority, a cultural consciousness is doomed to failure, phenomena, denies the delusion of part of the psyche structure, they're not permanent, they're habits required from social and cultural position, not rather archetype, phenomena, also to cultural approach to study the relationship between the social and the psychological. Debates aren't necessarily about black suffering. Empirics prove, look at play. One is psychoanalysis, pathologist is oppression, which starts our critique, there's no single symbolic order, Fraser 13. And then these are not solely executed by states, but other drawn by different possibilities, historical significant practices, which time shifts in the practices, changes of subjects, historical dominance appears variable in storage, inevitable, the homogeneous verification of the model of the symbol order, something the quiz on divinity, the decentralized homogeneous contingent practice, and direct intentions, for the positive change, possibilities for change. Saying anti-bias, actually, no. Recent science proves that implicit racial biases are malleable, improving at an unprecedented rate on track to be neutral by 2035 and spearheaded by legal changes. State resistance turns progress. Morehouse and Banashi 24. It's more scientific ways such as race, behavior, discrimination between the persons of the qualities, opposite the implicit biases, explanation, biases, vulnerable, scientists, atheists, attitudes, or sensitive, negative, individuals, low positive setting, dimensional, reason, bias, transnational level, reason analysis, American templates, race attitudes, or 14 years, bias, attitudes, implicit race attitudes, or 2035, and they can win that the government has never done anything good for black people, but they still have 0% of an argument as to why it will inevitably be that way in the future. Gordon 18. Customers going to not overcome the judgment would not be a right events of future to come to facing the future question will not be what to do with there's to repeating alternative political movement is political movement reaches back history rationalized and central and paradox women actual with against favorable and resistance which against forces eliminated whole colonies whereas what a future of bombs and light issues the race of resistance after by some materials to consider failure transfer percentage of anything new to the energy of alternative systems Jaxson and Predator comments with about predecessor, participation of successor, version of Jaxson failure, radicals failures, transfer of relations to the history of evolution, turn of evolution, or to us all of the evidence to futility. Hope they made it a moment of resignation. They must act focus on political action, taking responsibility for future that will guarantee the movement of fair resignation becomes political. Kind of political. And the alt. It fails. One's cases of dissent. They cause global warming and hurt black farmers without the act. 2. Private factor fiat, splitting pigs, vague and utopian alter all voter issues for clash. Makes offense unpredictable and forgoes nuanced analysis, which turns their offense. 3. Death cannot be resistance. It will just be recommodified by the original simulation to reinscribe the same racial domination. That's the entire ontology debate. And 4. Maryclare obviously did not do guerrilla linguistics. Don't give them that warrant. I'm going to continue the rest of the Gordon card. Wherever it is. Okay. The attitude of infinite resignation without accommodating action would be a nihilistic policy, the social phenomenon of resolution between political institutions, the such voices, automated commitment and about racism and political institutions, requires black access to political institutions, moralizing self individuals, expensive addressing institutions.
Okay. Cool. For Ross?
Yeah.
Okay. So reasons to reject the team were private actor fiat, vague alts, and utopian alts.
And Condo.
And Condo. Okay, sorry, I forgot about that. Cool. Okay, on framework, is your inter like weigh the act's consequences, or that we have to have unique things, or is it like?
It's both.
Okay.
We have to. What?
You said the answer.
Of course.
Okay, cool. On this Cooper card, it says that it's good to take up speculative policy reforms as a form of play. Why is that?
Yeah. So Cooper talks. I'm gonna say this card real quick, but as the card talks about how specifically in game settings, talking about what you could do opens up avenues for like ways you could think about the world that help you do good things. That's
okay.
kind of
Let's go to the Davidson card. I guess like why is apocalyptic rhetoric good?
Yeah, it motivates change. That's the main argument.
Okay, so it says it identifies the cause of the oppression. How does it do that when your impacts only talk about climate change, say nothing about anti-black violence?
The tag of the Dolby evidence explicitly says that it targets urban centers. That's all the accidents. Like,
Targets urban centers?
Yeah, a lot, like a majority of black people live in urban centers.
Okay.
Like that was the entire point of the Dolby card.
Okay. It says, okay, fine, that's fine. We can move on from that card. On the Gordon card, why does potential government future action disprove a legacy of anti-black violence?
That's not our argument. We're saying that even though there are examples of like contingent reasons as to why the states were anti-black in the past, we think that the state still would have potential to be good because there's other
Why
things.
should we imagine the state being good if it's been historically anti-black?
Because it still has potential to be good.
Why does it have potential to be good?
That's the entire Gordon card. It says that there are multiple examples of lists, like, let me find it. I think it lists like different legal acts that were good. I've read some that's
Different legal acts that were good.
Yeah.
Does some legal acts being good disprove a broader theory of like?
I think that-
Wait, do you know what Gordon like says? He talks about black essentialism.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how this is in tandem with the affirmative.
What do you
like,
mean?
the argument is like black essentials.
Well, this,
transcend
obviously we
black
aren't gonna defend, like, Gordon's entire thesis claim, but Gordon makes a specific claim against pessimism.
So you're
which says-
using like you're bastardizing a black author to
No.
beat a black team.
That is obviously not what we're doing. We are explicitly saying, using Gordon's one warrant against Afro-pessimism as a reason why Afro-pessimism is wrong. We are not bastardizing
Fine.
Gordon's theory with
Fine,
that.
let's go to the link chart. Do you have evidence that says
Josh
that
made
plant
an app
patents
about this.
protect predominantly black farmers?
What is it?
The link chart, do you have evidence that says like small farmers are predominantly black, or that your plant patents predominantly protect black farmers?
Well, we think
Is there a
that,
warrant for that, or are we just asserting that small farmers are like black?
well, we think that, first of all, you have not made a warrant as to why we do not solve small farmers getting more seeds, which means that in a likely scenario where there are at least some black farmers, them getting seeds and having an increased social position would probably be good.
Fine.
But, like, you know.
Okay.
Okay, well,
Cool. Josh, we gotta pull that out.
Yeah, section of Gordon is operating. Oh no, I know.
Dartmouth, SV.
Yeah, I'll take the Maryclare.
We wrote the Gordon K.
this is becoming a recruiting problem.
Two sheets so far. No, the two sheets for the cat.
Response to Hollenbach was Lincoln, it's good for black.
Which one?
Yeah.
Hollenbach.
Yes, not about plant patents, stuff like that.
Okay. Hey, 6, 7. Actually, I'll take more. Where is this bird?
It's chilling.
It's 1:30. The order will be the critique.
Have you sent the doc yet?
There's no cuts.
Or can I use Russian?
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
Thanks.
She might text me right there. Yes. Okay.
Oh.
It's gonna be so sad.
My last day, please.
You have to tell her that we're leaving. We're not going to see her again.
Who?
It's true.
Our friend Elise.
Oh. Did she just like dip?
No, I think we told you about these.
Oh,
She's our soul cycle instructor.
I see.
Dude.
Oh, Elise the goat.
Yeah, there's also ones down here.
Did y'all have to like get a photo
Yeah,
with
yeah.
her?
This little girl, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
She follows Caitlin on Instagram, but she doesn't follow
Good
me.
link.
Dang.
I'm actually
Just move it however you want it.
switch yours and mine.
Yeah, at least the go. bro.
At least it's interesting. And I'm just making sure, one of the perms was perm to the app, or perm to the alt, then the after 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Shit's not real.
Why?
I think it's true.
Wait, DML, do you know when we get all the ballots? Is it tonight or is it tomorrow?
I think it'll be tomorrow once all the rounds are done.
Is there a final round or no?
I don't know if we're gonna like we're either if there's gonna be a final round, it'll be like a finals of like the top two like performing teams like across all ballots and speaker points that we've had.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for speaker points for this, for mine, do you know how
We're
it
gonna
works?
use like another.
Like, do I just get my speaker points for my
I mean,
debates
the
today,
overview
or
will
do
just
I
be
use
like
speaker points for my debates
the
today
explanation
or
of the-
factor into my overall speaker
I mean,
points?
if you
That
want
is
to.
a good question. I do not know. I will. Yeah, I'm not sure.
'Cause that's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I sent you the doc, brother.
I feel like I'd probably rather it be all of them, because then there's like more.
More averaging. Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent you the doc.
I feel like you guys should just pick whatever's better for me, because I debated twice.
Oh, you were debating for this round?
Yeah.
Alright.
A lot of each do I do. I'm still waiting on the doc, but if you all have it, then we can get.
Oh, there's no doc.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, then I'm good.
Yeah.
To framing issues that none of their social death nor ontology bad evidence applies to our linguistic thesis that slavery de-linked to one-to-one correspondence between signifier and signified because negrophobic interpretive schemes will recut black political communication in the ways that we've appropriated or mythologized by humanist ideology, the impact and susceptibility of reduction of black containers to flood to be filled with humanist content, broad black and political subjectivity, and necessary over deliberation for the end result of the plan, which is a terminal solvency takeout delay, the training out for liberal cost benefit analysis failed if rational info is dissuasive, is an external impact of black dispositionality that finds in the afterlife and conceded symbiotic to white reality is a system that is a deprived system of signification within modernity, meaning the questions of reform, ethics, the efficacy of solvency, and value follow along ontological determination, meaning value and identity is only possible through the construction of dialectics, i.e. I know what is good by what I consider evil, use this as a filter to understand our argument. The transatlantic slave created an untwinked social societal taboo occupying the black stone of non-being to establish his own who qualifies for technology, the political economy, and freedom, law, injustice, and vitality, absolute antagonism, humanity will not understand what it means to exist for the human desire to be in the world, which is intrinsically attached to creation of black flesh as lacking agentiality. Now their ontology wrong ones. First is Gordon. Gordon is not responsive since we don't defend the static ontology, but he's both negative. We need new forms of black being in relationship rather than investing in pre-existing notion. Now Fraser, first is symbolic order. This contemplates the symbolic order with societal context. The symbolic order is not a social concept of particular language, it's the structure of language itself. Simply put, even if we're changing things over time, that's not change nor disprove. The structure that guides language itself, i.e. grammar, or syntax is two, is that no link and turn theory of language is not static system. The existence of the black mean that any system is never complete and therefore always open to innovation and change. Yet it also introduces stability, the possibility for achieving wholeness. Third is even if the one is calm will win. There are historical examples, but past contemporary prove that blackness is an empty signifier whose ontological position has not changed. Now they say socialization. First, it is not responsive to our understanding. The first is black relationality. The middle passage created a related relationality that's worded value premise upon captivity of blackness, enslavement, the God creation of humanist world, not economic exchange, but rather symbolic desire to imagine flesh. A blackness prior to Africans on ship, conceded, signified gain value for negation, i.e. good through bad, criminal through non-criminal. This dialectic requires meaning to parasite upon blackness as the position of unthought to enjoy a metaphysical sovereignty. Myth, the distinction of black and blackness, which is not a thing but a concept re-signified. In the middle passage, D2A question black relations to social death with only true given black association with blackness. Now the extinction debate first is that we are impact turning extinction. Two reasons. First is white superheroes just said no ethics in the world of the slave. Any ethical project is a contradiction and conception which moots the value of societal progress. Be evil, you should uphold your gut reaction to sympathize with 1AR's moralization and contemplate what it means for you yourself to do quote unquote the right thing. Think the 1AR will never blackmail you, but when your entire existence is secured the evils of slavery. No slave, no world means it's impossible to rationalize an ethical world beyond in which the slavery was essential to its creation. Beyond proving the affirmative is good for black people, they must win as their affirmative is disembarcated from a grammar of genocide that asserts anti-black value, meaning the violence is necessary for progress. Second is the Disneyland said the audit imaginaries are only valuable as Insofar as their pedagogy they produce will win that imagining death at the hands of black terrorists is good. The affirmative position themselves as morally superior based on fabricated reality. Until we are a ballot story of why it's unethical to extinguish the planet presumes the affirmative ballot can solve it. Obviously, they can't vote negative to roll the end credits and kill the people of the simulation to recognize that they are actors of a movie with worse special effects. And you, as an educator, should send the message that just because fiat is valuable for scale, it does not mean you pathologize black folk as apolitical. E.g., when you stand up saying that it kills black barbers, but then fucking can't answer what is your relationship to blackness, proves that all of the relationship to this scholarship that we have presented is apathetic. You should scratch it off your flow. Now the irreversible. First is that metaphysical obliteration outweighs your attachment to irreversibility, reassigns innate value to white death as something other, which we shouldn't even dare. Aaron Bushnell's self-immolation for Palestine is enabled and mourned, but black woman's self-immolation for the same cause, which you probably never heard about, is insignificant in a rape because she was already presumed dead. Now they say the black people get first. First is the white guilt disad. The issue is that will weaponize pre-existing anti-blackness to stabilize the very thing that causes it. Liberalism tries to offer recognition within the recourse to what they are. Will say that black people die first as justification for why you must save the state, which strike black people on the very first day. Now the links first is that we're going for more. We're going for more. So there's no question of extinction link. One has an extinction link. One T. Lightman says that the only reason for the terminal matters is due to the destruction of the American empire. Should frame every impact calculus of the critique as they only seek to securitize and prevent extinction when it serves the white fantasy and empire, which zeroes the terminal impact of the affirmative. Additionally, your author is writing for Newsmax. You should be more serious. The only response to that is talking about the East and not the West. No, it is not. Rather, it is critiquing the way that you've satiated yourself in hegemony and practices of anti-blackness that have seeped into the way that we debate, which should be a framing issue for the framework card. Now, the cruel optimism link. First is that the framing issues that Jaxson and Will were not able to articulate in the planned passage give you a shifty date. This should frame a cruel optimism argument. Paul, stop throwing up your hands. This should frame a cruel optimism argument. Policymakers attempt to immediately instances when asked the relationship to blackness. Their sole response when it prevents extinction, which supercharges the securitization argument done above in terms of how white correctors always seek to stir interrogation of blackness just to ensure the future, which may potentially harm them when confronted with racism, which means that you ought to suspend and overcorrect cognitive biases to invest in notions of fiat progress, inflate the impact of our framework, and link articulation. Now group every single one of their arguments in terms of how it harms black farmers. Our argument is that this is apathetic attachment to the way that you've associated yourself with blackness. It proves our philic relation, e.g., how you only use black people to get a ballot, or say that something might harm them in the abstract, but when confronted with it, you just throw up your hand and go. Reframing in the 2ER internal link turns every single argument that you will never really go for into what they are, because it means that the frame of analysis that you invested yourself in to an anti-black. Now the IP turns. We're not going for it, but it's not offensive for them in terms of the progress possible debate and progress as possible debate, because our argument is that the way and the reason the structural conditions exist is because of the middle passage was structured anti-blackness into the codification of the political. Now the alternative first is that you as a non-black judge are trapped within the white hype reality. Your coherence is secured through gratuitous violence like the microchips in your laptop. Secured the African genocide. You should be willing to risk your own life for blackness to pay your debts and show that the other world is possible, and expose the contradiction of the white center, the white hype reality for how humanism's project towards equality required domination of the black. You should refuse to calls for transparency and communication. Only this refusal to prevent mentality can refuse the state stimulation of repairing blackness. Even if we lose the framework debate, there's external fallacy of how black terrorism looks like the Haitian Revolution, which is done set fire to French Revolution to look like the Baltimore riot when alternative kinship structures were formed into faith and the medal of death. Now the only argument that they have are laughable. They say that Maryclare is not black, which means she can't participate in the alternative, and the reason to down it first rejects the argument, not the team, but second, improves our link articulation in terms of how non-black people attach themselves to instances of people literally trying to call out the scholarship of the 1AC and create affective form a relationship, and they just shut it down and say, it's not correct. Now the crackdown argument first, the crackdown and permutations argument first is that we'll group all of them, and specifically the one that said to the alternative affirmative 5 years, that it makes no sense that you claim that the 1AC relies on is something that we have indicted for via all our link arguments. A risk of the link means that you reject the permutation of the out to compromise. This said the permutation is the compromise between two separate interests in order to get develop this allows individual demands to be circumvented and put noted with this bad model debate under their model, and perms don't solve in our new link. It produces the elasticity of logical overwork and impulse and productivity. The double bind argument incoherent framework proves that the permutation is incomprehensible, and the alternative is able to overcome the link because we call for an end of the structure. Now the last argument is crackdown first, terminally not unique, which means that you come try or die for alternative solvency. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
There's stuff about self-immolation.
Yeah.
You talked about a black woman's self-immolation
Yeah.
being ignored instead of the dude for Palestine. Why doesn't this prove that Black Death will not be able to change the system if no one notices it?
What? That means that you should weaponize your fear of reversibility.
Yeah, but no one noticed that. So why would
Yeah,
this
but you're
system-
noticing it now, right? Which proves the uniqueness of the links.
Okay, so specifically.
Also,
showing
our
white
argument is
people
that
did that.
there's innate value to white death. E.g., the reason we cared about them was because there's a value assigned to white death.
So,
But
you have made the claim that TML is vested in white hyperreality. Why would he notice this Black Death or care about it?
because we forefronted it and said that you, as an educator, like the question doesn't make sense.
Wait, you said something about Fraser conflating. What do you mean?
Sure, there's a few arguments. First is that no, the symbolic order, you can place the symbolic order with social context. The symbolic order is not a social context or a particular language, it is the structure of language itself. Even if words' meaning change over time, does not change or disprove the structure that guides language itself, e.g. grammar or syntax. Second is there's no link in a turn. The theory of language is not statisticism. The existence of the lack means that any system is never complete and therefore always open to innovation, but this also introduces us to the instability and possibility of achieving wholeness. Our argument is that blackness comes to signify the lack in the Western order, and the master constantly reinvents itself as a way to cover up the core instability, which is an extinction argument. Third is that even if you win it, we'll win historical examples, both past and contemporary, to prove that blackness is an empty signifier whose ontological position
So
has
the
not changed.
Hobson card, that's the link you went for, right?
I went for like 3.
Yeah, okay. The Hobson card talks about the specific quote from Enlightenment. Are there any other reasons why Hobson links to DF?
Sure, we've said that the terminal of the impact in all of your cards, e.g. the way that they talk about, we need patents in order to stop sort of external impacts or China or America from like flipping. We say that it's
Where
like
does it
exactly
say
the
that?
opposite.
Where does any of our cards say America?
If the country plunges into battle, many will be vying for the loot. China, Russia, North Korea will destroy whatever the war does, and the American empire will become
We
history.
didn't read that card.
Stop.
Yes, you did.
Stop.
Did you read that?
No.
Yeah, then.
Wait,
Stop.
what?
It's fine.
We didn't read Laitman.
It's fine.
Well, that's not Laitman.
Just move on.
Oh, yeah, that literally says, okay, what other card
I-
says America is living?
Just move.
No, I
Wait.
want to talk about the Hobson link. What other card says America is falling behind?
Home?
What other card, other than the one we didn't read, says
Sure, the
America?
McCaskill card.
Which card in the McCaskill?
Yeah.
Where does it say that?
The technological and institutional status quo is a precarious predicament for which societies need to escape.
Why is that anti-American?
To why? To lay about the groundwork for this escape, governments must become more aware of the risks they face to develop more industrial apparatuses.
Why
for
is that
managing-
anti-America?
What?
Why
Well,
is- why
the
is
internal
it-
is talking about America. McCaskill then proceeds to talk about sort of humanity's scales in
Okay, so the
Americanism
impact
in
is
American
not about
society.
America. I'm glad we made that clear.
I mean, you can just assert a bunch of shit, Will. Like, meet this big.
Hold on.
Can I have a timer?
Crap, real quick. Sorry.
Okay.
Taking crap, okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you need?
If you have time, you just want to go for another link.
If you write it down.
Yeah, I got you.
I might have time.
Yeah, it's fine.
What? I got this, it's fine. I sent the one in R, so.
The Disneyland DA is like fiat is bad, right?
No, it's
No.
extinction.
It's
Extinction?
Yeah.
Okay. You tell me an answer to that.
Yeah. I can write this.
Okay. 612.
Okay, one in our doc has been sent, so you should all be ready.
Cool.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Yeah, let me download it, that'll be good.
We're starting on theory and then framework over. Good?
Hold on, sorry. I'm getting the document right now.
CML good?
Yeah, sorry. Actually, give me 1 second. I forgot to close out of my.
The stand is like slightly too high. Good?
Theory then framework?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. I am ready.
Private act of beyond utopian all-taken group, and knowing we don't beyond anything or mindset shift in every aspect of framework truth theory because all their impacts are procedural vague, all taken analysis and cross to clarify it's not vague. We think that truth seems explicit on the function of the authors of reverse voting issue because vague theory is voted for white flag forcing us to answer a bunch of reasons to reject rods from actually engaging our scholarship cross apply to all of their theory offense condo framework turns and it'll extend defense 1 counter turn we get what we did 2 condo good A neg flex massive topic with an ask you makes it harder for the negative to win and they get infinite prep with first and last base speed testing is good it makes the app consider all the costs of reading the plan encourage more thinking because that he has a test of multiple levels 3 is no offense excuse me
I'm so confused with what I have my timer set for.
You want this time or round?
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, no, it's using.
Oh, wow.
I'm recording it on,
Oh,
I'm using.
never mind.
Prep starting now. After the Solvent 17 card, you said something about arbitrariness. What was that?
Solvent 17, yeah, I said the resolution limits only the app, not the egg, not the neg, which straight turns your offense because like mid-round rules are worse than no rules because they're way more arbitrary. Let's unilaterally draw balance, and that turns
Okay.
like the claim that we're infinitely regressive because you're worse.
What was for unfairness?
Where? For unfairness?
Yeah.
Like at worst, unfairness inevitable, like speed differentials, resource use, coaching disparities mean that like a threshold for fairness is arbitrary.
Okay. Did you finish this? Yeah, okay. 321.
Any cards or no?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Order is gonna be, case in the K.
Type shit.
Okay, sorry, hold on, let me get my flows in order, 'cause there's a lot of them.
How did you end up with that many flows in a one-off debate?
Doing well, I
He
guess.
doesn't-
Like, that's a
he
good
doesn't flip
sign.
to the other side, he just uses more paper.
I can't flip to the other side, I like forget.
That's hella wasteful.
I forget, like I genuinely will just like throw my page away and it'll just like have a whole backside to it.
You caused the climate change impact, bro.
Just start playing on computer.
I'm like scared to, I feel like I'm gonna miss something, I don't know why.
Not flying on paper's better.
I'm back and forth. I played on the computer in that debate yesterday, but I don't know how much I liked it. I think I like playing on the computer better.
Okay,
Computer's way better when judging though.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's not
100%.
even close.
Yeah.
okay. On, the K, by the way, I'm just like, just in case this is like prevalent to you, I'm gonna do condo at the very top, I'm gonna like do theories at the very top.
Okay.
Alright. But it's gonna be case, K, and then, theory, framework, like ontology, something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
I got it.
Go.
Patent trolls are currently flooding the courts. Patent stacking is inevitable. Only the app is able to access this and make it in an effective way, which resolves any court clause happening now that in courts are uniquely key to climate litigation. They're able to enact and improve it in the status quo. And this is uniquely key because climate change is an existential threat. It's non-linear. Unchecked feedback loops cause quick extinction. This uniquely turns the K because where they drop the things like climate-induced disasters like Hurricane Katrina disproportionately affect marginalized people. Try or die for the app. This is uniquely key to go onto the K. Okay, on the theory. No RBI and Vegas Dispo's trying
just to keep going.
Dispo's trying to better engage with the all, but we can't do that if you just kick the all every time, which is, if anything, I'm not, no.
Yes, bro. You have to respond like that.
Okay, group their theory, it's a vague theory, there's like no warrant as to why it's like uniquely bad. Not only that, but you can just reject the theory argument, not the team. Also, I'm just gonna do comment here. Research outweighs is the only skill they can take outside of debate into the workplace and higher academia. It's key to class activity formation, advocacy, so they drop Dispo is key and it solves their office versus death of Brennan Force, specific research and better counterplays instead of tail running gun 1 and C's. Remember, the good old days we cut DAs and counterplays and files were used with Dispo was the norm seconds, aiming it better. Advocacy solves with egg flexors, no cost, CVs are key, and egg flexors inevitable, sweet generate the K, tax state, and prices, and limit basis, and development making, counterplays and surroundable, all their stuff is not startup because it's about skew and fairness, which is not our impact. Remember, doesn't turn Condo, we don't rely on fairness or fiat with the procedural and their clash office doesn't apply because we still clash with the same exact K with the all must be dispositional set of conditional maximize testing prefer competing in terms of reasonability, arbitrary cause intervention or models of most desirable. You need to vote app, go into the K. On the framework. Except for interpretation, way the fiat implementation of the plan against a competitive alternative that must generate uniquely to the plan against the whole should be evaluated based on the scope of material crystallology. We get to weigh the whole app regardless of unfair prior questions. That we're going for fairness, destruction of the game. We expect all judges to fairly decide to win or lose in the next term. Compromise, fairness, adjudication, and lieu of a model of prejudice, criticism of the squad with no implication of how the app actually affects it, and that creates a reuse and we will wash model that destroys education. So prior question infinitely regressive because the naked choose any arbitrary standard of the block. Moots one AC office and Sternbec the 1 AR artificially in place. Offense of their model and we access education. Best debate is the game and fairness and intrinsic to the game. Fairness serves our office education because unfair gains lead to people quitting, which reduce the amount of education they can gain. That fairness is a prereq to making them portable, and they drop the ivory tower. The extended here belly. The reps over the material implication creates an echo chamber of placebo activism that makes isolating the issue of the school without a proper way of creating actual change, which prevents the actual effective spill up. And also, on their framework, I already did the prior rep stuff on the Solvent 17 here. Debate is voluntary, pre-existing health conditions take priority. There's no reason why debaters would voluntarily hurt themselves. Second, the heretic proves that we're cruelly optimistic. We know what will happen, but still good to imagine that was the fairness debate. I'll just do more on the fiat. Third, Solon has no quals and the studies are flawed. They over this and the 2 and R will read the sources and fairness and good operations like research incentives. The Solon piece behind class arguments that state of innovation and refinement. Second, you can't vote on known fairness because it's the only metric for making decisions. You can't fairly decide that fairness is bad. Also, the 3, their evidence is about monopoly, not debate. The ballot doesn't solve their impact. Will make us understand black suffering, which is mean we prep better. Also, they're the worst for app ground process counterplays. Though we say process counterplays, they're good at testing out from all angles. Not only that, but the methodology or the app bias. There's no app bias. This topic isn't infinitely skewed towards the app. They get infinite ground. They have things like sweet generators, the K, like a case turns, impact turns. On the pathology data, there's no no conspiracy. Universal. It's a universal good. It does not force ousting of black debaters within this space. For the unfairness is inevitable. Unfairness is inevitable. We should not just throw it away because structural unfairness exists. We should still prioritize procedural unfairness. And also, 5 on global fairness is a terrible model that allows people just to run and gun and create unfair rounds and hope that it'll become more unfair for next debaters. Not only that, but some activities. Debate doesn't stabilize opportunities. A, all costs numerous other activities and tasks we perform daily. B is competition. Debates and competitive incentives that we both teams are not merely motivated by personal beliefs. Second, it's not internalized. No one will internalize losses. And there's spill up from the app by being exclusion of very real and tangible impact. Material solutions lead to real life advocacy losses to ambitious change that practically changes society. Also, I'll do their class stuff here. First class is all McCall's office. The technocratic rely on experts and distance ourselves from arguments. The class rule arguments being more able to solve. And the second, the purpose of debate is to be able to alternative ways that they can disperse this to technocracy. 3 is cross-apply to inheritance shields from Solvent. 4, cross-apply no activity shifts from fairness. That answers all the other class offense. Now go on to I'll do fiat here.
Last thing, strike off Argonaut team on Condo.
What?
Strike Argonaut team on
Strike Argonaut team on Condo. I'll do fiat good. Fiat is good simulations of the understanding of institutions rather than wait for the future prefigurative of fiat politics and bodies hope for change. Testing ideas creates new relations that are uniquely shaping social relations. That's Cooper and Res 23. Just because Cooper is not specifically about debate does not mean it's uniquely bad, but it actually allows us to imagine things that are happening. Also, on some blocks, we do not draw inflation. Does not conflate ideas. Ideas are drawn from interpretive possibilities, not the psyche, historical specific social practice produce descriptions that are altered over time through practice. Indian persons, the whole homogenizing to describe dominance and monolithic symbolic orders. Locks in empty tautology. The idea of static is a racist tension contradiction and any possibility for change. The only way to resolve the political practice phrase 13 has turns all their office on ontology, and not only that, we can extend they drop the moral and bodies 24 cross using the implicit associated tests. Scientists prove that bias is malleable. Attitudes are sensitive. Result of the test will change if their individual will show a positive setting. Bias has decreased by 26%. The trick is race attitudes will be neutral by 2035. That implicates their all because it proves that biases are uniquely able to change. That solves all their ontology arguments.
I agree. I think that. Saying that. Yeah. I can't like. Oh yeah. Hmm? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just type it out. framing issues, they did not have a warrant for reason to reject the team, just as the regards to Dr. Flow, but this proves our white flight argument in terms of how, when discussion of anti-blackness, they will go for a Hail Mary to AR, but our argument is that theory and fairness relies on some notion of being productive in order to preserve an anti-black debate space, which is also an attempt to police and gain certain black expression for non-black gain, and blackness comes before fairness in theory, which means the critique is a prior question, because the anti-support fairness is just an internal link to anti-blackness, and black debaters never had access to fairness, which we classified as the framework argument, drop the argument, give it to RBI, to deter criminality associated with blackness, reject infinite abuse claims of non-blacks and grant about potential abuse on people that black people never get committed, which holds us culpable for every fucking bad thing possible in debate, prefer reasonability, drop for the one and all, footnoting dissent committee, attempt to try to find the best way for me to read my strategy, which infinitely depict and delete black resistance strategy and voices from having any impact. Also, it's not always going to be incoherent first, that the valid always determined off of abuse and inequalities, otherwise it would be impossible to evaluate around and tech. It's abusive and non-black theory and some bad norms because we vote on answers that are marginally better rather than the best version of the M-term, so it doesn't achieve the voter. Additionally, paradoxical theory is that the limit argument that uses arguments to do that, conceding the validity of arguments. Now, the critique or framework proper. Do anything else? Okay. The framework. Or counter-interpretation that the one he sees an object is study, we can accept our research. They're uniting it on a scholarly basis, not just the plain text of the past. We have united the entirety view of debate. The way that we debate is actively complicit in a project of anti-black wording that the right way that after relations to slavery debate teaches us that violence can never be wished away by fantasy and murder seeking to bring, but rather the violence can merely materialism or prior wholeness is destroyed. That's why, even though we know that fiat isn't real and doesn't effectuate material change, we can still dogmatically adhere to the protocols, which means that any risk of a link which they drop for the what they are means that their model is anti-black. You should reject it now. Class first. Drop is just an internal link. It's just a question of what we should clash over, which was answered above. Second is our answer doesn't preclude clash anyways. You can still use tooth claims, i.e. claims to the one see reform could impossible extinction not wave extinction not wave, but not ontological, or prove that it does not moot often now fairness. Here, first is that drop is fairness is non-started mooting. The affirmative is good to hold them like I don't for anti-blackness when a link justifies a procedural violation, which they're libidinally invested in condemning back to impersonal death. Externally drop that the game is globally fair. The only response to it globally fairness is a bad method, but everyone goes to both sides, which means the counter tactic for each approach time or strategy choose are inevitable because the infinity argument and conditional counterpoint or impact must be a prior question because the rest of the game isn't bad if it's reversed. Now let's get off into here. First is that drop the distancing dissent, which should come as a prior question. Fiat is a tactic, a distancing that allows debaters to avoid grappling with ongoing problems through conflict future orientation. Think about every time that they have reportedly proved that even if they win skills, it takes years for debaters to develop the skills and research. Vision for power and millions of marginalized people will die and experience the whole racialization. Must prioritize immediate solvency through refusing the affirmative, which turns into a inevitable push for skills. Now the research argument is that no, our argument is that those research insatiated in instances of anti-blackness, which means that insatiated in instances of anti-blackness to improve instances of anti-blackness and try to definitely make pit away against revolutionary strategies, which means that it generates uniqueness in terms of framework in terms of articulations for why you ought in terms of why you ought to allow them. Additionally, drop the speculative vampires, which means the process of fiat is anti-black fantasy that hold black is captive the echo chamber simulation. The cost benefit analysis that inevitably the 2AR will go for is wrong and you should reject it. The weighing impact or hypothetical portrait being portable skills reinforce plasticization that reduces bodies to valuable lexical weighing states that the better master can manipulate for cost benefit calculation. Now the only thing that they have going for them is the ivory tower, but caused by every argument done above and our link to how the world out there would play out. But debate is a question of the microcosm of the world and how you respond. The question of the anti-blackness and fate, which is replicated when you leave. Why is so many black people getting pushed out of organizing? Facing prove that, or why do black people get pushed out of the faith that you sort of purportedly put report is good for them, which we are framing this as for every single argument. Now the critique proper. The framing issues that they have conceded are thesis and semiotics, which comes prior to the evaluation of the affirmative. They do not extend a piece of often in terms of explaining why ontology is wrong, rather than this is bias dissent. But they conceded the affiliate dissent, which was they flagged the 2 and C. All of the authors that they have inevitably gone for purport that these sort of racial biases tests cannot account for libidinal drive or libidinal and linguistic theses that Gillespie count for in terms of articulation for why ontology is bad and no social death, which means that it should not be offensive for them. Additionally, drop the phrase offense, which means that non-unique, and that the card conflates the symbolic order with social context into the inevitable QAR. Also, they conceded that there's a no link and a turn. The theory of language is not staticism, and the existence of the lack means that any system is never going to be complete. Winning ontology has to be a prior question to theory or conditionality, which was explained on the theory hedge above, but the theory hedge above, which means that every link implicates themselves. Now, the links here first drop the hedge and extinction link, which that they uphold the dream of the American empire, which can never be possible for them. The mechanical card framed the impact calculus of the critique as they only seek to securitize the extinction absent and also going for the core optimism link 3 conceded that the only argument, the reason they securitize extinction means that you can securitize the extinction is only to ameliorate the securitized the white future which we have impact during, which means the alternative is only able to resolve it, did not extend a permutation or alternative deficit, which means the alternative is at 100.
There's only one second.
Cool.
Who did that? I think I did one.
Oh, Nate, were you able to find any of those universality cards? If not, no worries.
No.
No problem. I'm gonna turn the file out. I appreciate you checking. I got enough together.
Okay, orders Condo. Good?
Just give it a speech. I'll be back.
Okay.
You're sure.
Ready?
Sure.
Research outweighs everything. They've dropped a 1 AR framing argument. The only skill from advantage that's portable as every other part of your life, like with the workplace and higher academia, as all aspects of life are benefited by adept research skills. Today is a game and its value is determined by the skills we gain from it. In-depth research is a prerequisite to all debate benefits. Productive clash requires two teams prepared to rigorously defend each other's arguments. Subjectivity formation only occurs by repeatedly delving into the finer points of specific policies or ideologies, allowing minds to gradually change and build uniquely cultivates advocacy skills by requiring more thorough defenses of our arguments. All these breed
more educated and reflexive debaters who are better prepared to positively impact the world, prefer depth over breadth. Condo incentivizes shallow research by because the advocacy come at no cost. There's no incentive to hunker down and defend advocacy because any offense can easily be bypassed by going for another counterpoint. Shallow, bare, minimum research and 10 generic process counterpoints in case cannot match the unique pedagogical benefits of making a one-off king to the best possible version. Our impacts are illustrated by think about how much better the K would be if we could have gone for an in-depth alt debate without the risk of them kicking it for the generic strategies that no one likes. This is a region of the team, obviously all because of the research stuff above that was impacted out in the 1 AR. All of its white play arguments are proof that deep testing of the alt is key because which is the only possible interdisciplinary because otherwise debaters are put forth to for silly incoherent terms which are theory arguments by the way because all of their arguments on the alt would be an instant neg win because they are not forced to defend the entirety of their alts but rather only specific parts of it and they can kick it when called into question. This is a very straightforward theory debate. Remember the good old days counterpoint files and K's row files were huge because hundreds of pages long because they had to be. Dispo was a norm incentivizing the after cut specific disaster counterpoints and the neg was to rigorously defend the after just cut geoengineering disaster comprised advantage counterpoints and the attempt of the state for any alt and for fomenting a race to the top with it optimizes both the app and the neg's arguments. Their substance crowd out stuff is awful. First things first, all of it is new, which means that you would strike it off your flow because it wasn't said in the blog, and I shouldn't be burdened with responding to it because the only things that Maryclare said in the 1 AR was neg flex, see inevitable, and then we got first and last piece and reasonability. If you vote on anything that was not one of those 4 things, I will be very mad at you because we'll be brand new. They say culpability, but we aren't saying that blind people are culpable for the theory violation. It's a question of research, and we think that we had better test the alternative through dispositionality, then obviously you should vote affirmative because the would not be able to be tested in the first place. This is not a thing that the whole blind people are culpable for, but rather a question of testing. We think there's a race to the top if we can debate the alt when it's dispositional framing issue for blind people accessing fairness argument. That's not our impact. Our impact is about research and testing. Our black debaters can access fairness anyways. It's pathologizing to say they cannot. We understand that there are specific instances of unfairness, but it's not justification to throw debate away entirely. Do not crossify them to clash and warrant options on fairness on framework for them. They do not crossify them to Condo in the first place, so you don't make it for them. That intervention, not cool to do that. And adjudication and fairness is universal. Their model is more exclusionary than they drop the fairness access to education bash without us getting actual education would make people just quit debate. Reasonability. They say prefer competing interpretations. 1, reasonability is arbitrary and forces judge intervention. That was the very bottom of the Condo show. There's no bright line for what sufficiently is reasonable, meaning the standards is different for every judge. Competing interprets is comparatively better. It's only a question of models. Whichever the judge decides is more desirable wins. 2, it ignores the impact calculus. The neg does not have to win. They almost outweigh the case. They shouldn't win if Condo is almost good. And 3, if we win on offense, obviously their model is not reasonable. They say substance crowd out. 1, the only impact is better debates. If Dispo provides better research incentives, it reduces crowd out because substance will be higher quality. 2, prefer scope. Their interests are limited to this debate, but our impacts are based on the cumulative benefits of years worth of debate. And 3, theory debate is good meta-level questioning of what debate should be allowed for better practices in the long term, compared to the desirability of competing visions of debate and forces reflexivity to justify our practices, becoming the mechanism for broader norm shifting, shutting out debates about what debate should be, only makes it stagnant and trying to get to existing state. Debate could be better than what it is now, debating about how we might achieve that, how to define and stick to the best practices that improve upon the rest. The rest of the stuff they said. K is not a prior question. We've proven that the only way to evaluate the K in the first place is through dispositionality because we are not able to properly engage in proper world visions like the alt. If we do not first focus on how to debate the alt, we were not able to properly prepare or negate the alternative because of the fact that it was conditional and because we could not test it for extensive amounts of time because it was a no-cost option. They could kick at any point in the debate. Obviously, this proves that we are not sufficiently able to test the entirety of the K, which means it's not able to come first because we do not know whether or not the K could be true. If we don't know it's dispositional, proves to the rest of the debate that even if the K, they're right about the K, you shouldn't weigh it because it's a question of theory, which they've dropped that theory comes first before anything else. Their interpreting marginally better stuff, answer by substance crowd out, even if the theory interprets are marginally better every single time. First, new. Second, theory, debates on theory are good. That's the third point. Substance crowd out. Yeah, the white flight stuff is answered by Dispo is being able to engage properly with the K. It's not a question of shutting out people for theory or white flight. If anything, it's white flight to drop Dispo in the 1 AR. I don't know.
Good stuff, folks.
That was a debate.
Give me a sec to